Good evening, folks. Welcome to Chatting with Javi number 64. Let me check on how much bandwidth I have left because it looks to me that I'm running very, very low. And so wait for you guys to populate before I continue. And whoa boy, yeah, I'm definitely near the tail end of my bandwidth. So this will be a relatively short show if it doesn't get cut off, that is. Hey Jason, how's it going? Welcome. Everybody's popping in, populating the place slowly. I had and I'll probably explain this more than once. Hey Paul, how's it going? Welcome. I had a lightning strike, and it either struck one of the good one. It either struck one of the cameras. Oh yeah, I picked up the place a bit. It either struck one of the cameras and backfed in through the security system, or it came in through the router I have up on one of the corners of the storage. Backfed through the Ethernet. Ethernet cables. Long story short, my modem, my security system, the 8-channel security thing, and my router, all three burned out. So I ordered a new security system. It comes in tomorrow. That's a beautiful thing. Or today, actually. It's probably waiting for me at the post office. I got to go pick it up. The modem comes in Tuesday. Well, the modem's the big thing because I am on, I don't want to say borrowed time, but I am on limited bandwidth, I guess, if you will, and have been since I came up here. I was on my phone. I've used up 28 gigs of my 30. So this session may be cut short, but most likely this may be the last one until I get the modem up and running. So you guys may not see me tomorrow, or I may be going it straight off my phone, or you may not see me Wednesday, or I may be off my phone, or I might end up already having if UPS drops it off to the post office on Tuesday, most likely Wednesday is when they'll drop it off to me. I mean, it's it's annoying because if I had an address, which I don't yet in this place, if I had an address, UPS could deliver directly here. But it's coming. It's coming. So I'll let you guys know the progress so far of my, I want to say the build, whatever you want to call it. I have, in fact, I went over to the building department today to take care of some minutia and ask some very relevant questions, which I already knew the answers to, but I wanted confirmation in writing. And that's what I got. So I went by the architect's place. The plans are done. Well, the plans are done. The structural plans are done for my house. I am waiting on truss plans, which will take a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks. And then I'm also waiting on, I'm shopping around for a steel building. If any of you guys know a good steel building place that delivers kits that are 180 mile an hour wind and acceptable in Florida, then by all means, let me know. But other than that, that's what I'm looking for. Right now, I'm just going to be stripping some cables for a little while. I'm really looking forward to that modem coming back because you know, satellite or not, it's a far better connection than my phone. You know, it is what it is. So I was hoping. I did the Elon Musk thing. I did the. I signed up to find out information about his Starlink, about when it's ready. Hopefully, be a beta tester. I don't know, but it's servicing rural areas, and frankly, um, while this is technically a residential area, it's not. It's extremely rural because it's back behind a bunch of people, and there's no county road on my property. There's no services like water or sewer or anything like that. So, well, it is what it is. How's it going, Dave Kraus? How you doing? So, you guys take a look at the at Dave's video there. That was an interesting review there. Guy's been at it for a while, trying to come up with something, and then, well, it's awful similar, but not a problem, because if he wants to do that much work for that little money, he's welcome to it. I am probably going to be looking to, hey, Bobby, how's it going? I'm probably going to be looking eventually, but I don't know how soon it'll be. It'll probably be about the turn of the year. Look into a metal enclosure for the hobby box. Basically, all the parts will be the same. It'll just be, and I'll probably have an upgrade for you guys if you want to go through the process. Again, this is just in my head right now, and I haven't priced it out to see what they are, but I'll be buying them in bulk from China like everything else. So it'll probably be a metal enclosure with the screws. So basically, whatever anyone that's bought a hobby box, all they got to do is swap all the parts in there. Be really nice looking, and it will be symmetrical. Yeah, Paul, I don't know. I got to be honest with you. I don't know. I'm some people. I don't know. I don't know. It's. I don't understand, but I understand. Okay, because there's two sides to me: the business side and the friend side. And I really, really try to avoid. And if I were you, that's probably my best advice. Don't do business with friends, because when you do, one will suffer. And it's usually the friendship. Because the thing is, friends look out for each other and protect each other, but business associates, it's about the bottom dollar, and I mean, the bottom line is the guy was the guy was talking about the person in question who built that thing was talking about building one for quite a long time, longer than I've been building my boxes. But talking about it and doing it are two completely different things. He finally got around to it. He finally got around to building it. He sent one to Dave for a review, and Dave is being very cordial and giving him a review. I mean, and an honest review, which is what he promised the guy. So it is what it is. It helps him, Dave, because the more controllers there are, the more different controllers there are out there, the easier it is for people to get into it. That was nice. You know, when you pull these things out, make sure you're not stabbing yourself with one of the strands of copper. Ooh, that one went in deep. No blood, but ooh, should have been blood with a pinch. There it is. Such is life. So when the more controllers there are around, the easier it is for people to buy a DIY kit because they have more options. Frankly, I don't see it much of an option. It's comparably priced to mine, and it's got the exact same stuff. The nice part is it's in a metal enclosure. Well, if that's what people want, I'll put mine in a metal enclosure. I'm here to serve the community, so that's what it's all about. I believe in my product. I believe in the community. I try to help them out as best I can, and it's all about customer service. It's not about the money to me. So, you know, I appreciate that someone else is also doing it. I can neither endorse nor criticize him because I don't know his product. I don't know his service. I don't know he just started. So, you know. So I will say nothing about it, good or bad. But yeah, I hear what you're saying, Paul. I was a little, you know, it's tough. Like I said, it's tough because personally, I was hurt. Professionally, I understood completely. No, none whatsoever. I mean, it looks nicer, in my opinion. It does look nicer. It's more expensive, the metal enclosure. So, you know, but at the same time, and this is why I'm probably going to start doing them. See, I had originally thought I'm going to go with a metal enclosure after a certain amount of units are sold because originally it was just I put in all my money into all the research and everything and getting the perfect things, the perfect match for the home hobbyist, for a professional machine for a home hobbyist. You know, and that's exactly what mine is. A professional machine. It doesn't look as well. It looks very professional according to you guys. Personally, I mean, the wood enclosure takes a little bit away from it and adds a little to it. Depends, but that'll soon change when I have the metal box. But I was going to sell a few units before I went to the metal box because that's a big investment. It's the way I do it. I don't know the way this other person is doing the metal box, but the way I do it, it's going to be a custom designed and fabricated metal box specific to the Javi box, and everything will fit in and screw in perfectly. So I'm already doing all the calculations for where all the weld nuts are going to go, where all the screw holes are going to go and stuff, and it's and I'll be buying them in bulk eventually. The nice thing about the wooden box and building them one by one, well, they're still going to be assembled one by one, but the boxes I do 20 or 30 at a time. The nice thing about them is I could just put personalize them, but I could do that to the metal boxes as well. Every one of my boxes is personalized. I know exactly who's got what. Hey, I got a great notice from one of my. I see. This is the stuff I love hearing. I love hearing. Hey, Javi. I mean, this is the personal relationship that exists between my customers. Hey, Javi, got everything working except the homing. The Z home's fine. The Y gets back, hits the switch, and then stops. No further motion. Kind of just freezes there. No alarms on M3 either. Thoughts? Okay. come visit the show on YouTube now, and I'll address your issues directly. Yeah, so let me send him a link. So one of my customers is very happy with everything, and see, these are the things, though. I got to be honest with you. These are the. Hang on, let me send him the link. Copy. Paste. There we go. All right. So what happens is I've been so swamped with putting these things together for you guys that, and that's what I'm going to work on this week, because now I'm finally caught up. And let me not say that too loudly, because that tends to jinx me, and then I end up getting more orders. But what I told myself, when I'm caught up, I'll finally get around to doing all the videos. See, at the moment, I have everything on FAQs. So we're looking forward to, I'm looking forward to finishing 47 too. They'll be done. Unfortunately, right now. Well, I was going to say I'm not working on anything right now until Friday when I get home, but I actually am. All the limit switches. So limit switches, e-stops, I just do it in, well, you know the order that I work in. You've been watching me long enough. So let's see here. How's it going, Big D? Good to see you. So like I said, everything is on a frequently asked questions list. Everything, from the files that you need to run it to all the instructions for every little thing. But there are some things like I've been meaning to put together a custom. There's half a dozen out there, and I email them to people. But I've been meaning to put together a custom touch probe script and instructions on how to, because that's really your guys' thing. I mean, it's a do-it-yourself kit. The only thing I'm doing is providing the kit. It's up to you to customize it any way you want, but the more stuff I put into it, the more I feel responsible to help you with it. So there is that. Good evening, Mike. How are you? 46. Yep. 46 and 47. They'll be out very soon. Very soon. Let me see. What do I got here? And I just got a few more orders. So I think that thing from Dave actually helped me, because I just got 5 orders. So it is what it is. But let's see. 45, 6, and 7 will be the first ones that I'll be working on as soon as I get home. And then 48 through 54, I will be. They just came in, so I'm sorry if you're listening and you have one of those. You gotta wait your due time. But I'm pretty soon I'm going to be caught up, and so I'll get back to doing the videos for you guys. Yeah, that's exactly what I mentioned, Paul. He's been, they've been speaking for a while. I mean, I know I was there, and then that's partially what started all of this. In the past, Dave has wanted me to do this, so I did it. Help him sell a few more boxes, and also, we're friends, and it's fun. Honestly, this is fun for me. If this wasn't fun, I would never sell them at this price. Never. So it must be fun for that guy too, because there is no possible way anybody would be. I don't want to call myself stupid, but there's no possible way everybody be stupid enough to do this much work for that little price. When, now on the other hand, the metal enclosure will save me a lot of time. So, oh, and by the way, in the future, I don't know when, but in the future, be prepared because, like I said, time is the biggest reason why these things cost so, well, they cost what they cost. In the future, I will be selling a kit, assuming one step at a time. First, the enclosure, the metal enclosure kit. For those of you who want to upgrade their Javi box to metal, that'll be a simple thing. And then I'll be eventually, I was against this in the beginning, but I'm thinking, well, maybe there's a market for it, to sell a kit where basically everything is thrown in there, but you guys do all the soldering, all the connect. There'll be explicit instructions on how to do it, but be prepared. So there'll still be the people that want me to go through the trouble, as there always are, and then there will be people eventually who will want to buy the if you guys remember the old Heath kits, that's basically what it's going to be like. So it's kind of fun if you like electronics. If it's difficult for you, if you're not good in troubleshooting, and if you're afraid that, well, first of all, if you don't want to spend 2 weeks building something and would rather spend 2 weeks making something, well, then obviously the full kit is the better deal. But the reason I didn't make it is twofold before. Number one is I like to put my name on everything, and I want it to be quality. So I'm going to have to differentiate. I'm going to have to call it a Mark II or a Mark III or something, because my kit is fully tested, guaranteed. When I send it out to you, I know that it works. If there's an issue, I either walk you through it or I take it back and I fix it. But when it comes to a Heath kit type kit, that's going to be a different scenario, because not everybody has the same skill sets when it comes to soldering and things like that. And there are 231 mistakes you can make. That's how many different solder connections there are. So, and someone had suggested to me to make a cheaper kit like the Xylotex, because I could easily do that as well. That's another option. Is I could do something like the Xylotex. It'll take me 1/10 of the time to build, but no, I'm not going to do that, because I could sell the kit for the same price, and it's all high quality components, and let them build. Let you guys build it. Go through the trouble if it's all about saving money, and not time. And if I go the route of Xylotex, see that's TB6600 drivers, and I will tell you right now, many people, including myself, I still have a Xylotex that works fine. So maybe not, but I don't like that design. While it's never failed me, it looks like it's failable. No, Paul, not at all. Not at all. No. Dave and I are always going to be good friends and stuff. We chat every day. There's nothing wrong, but I got a lot of that this weekend. I go, hey, what's the matter? I got one guy going, did why is he slapping you in the face and this and that? And I go, he's not doing that. He's selling his product. He's a businessman, and somebody did him the courtesy of sending him a product. If you guys look, Ryan, we were on the show the other day, all of us, and Ryan Ballard is considering making a Gerbil controller. I mean, I welcome that. It's not competition. It's competition if they sell the exact same thing that I'm making. Then yeah, then it's competition. And then That's easy. I just sell it for less. That's a no-brainer. It's it's not competition if they're offering a variety and something different. It's there's well, that was the other reason why, and now I'm thinking there's plenty of customers to go around, but that's not exactly true because this is not my business. In my real businesses, like painting contracting, for instance, I have a painting contracting company, and I have probably 30 or 40 painting contractors as friends. Hey, Kent, welcome to the show. I'll get to your question in a second. So as in my painting contracting company, which is my real business, I have, like I said, 30 or so companies, and we like to look at ourselves as like a co-op. Basically, it's co-opetition. There are areas which I prefer that some of them don't. There are buildings that there's one guy that does a bunch of residential work. I send him all my residential clients, all of them, because I don't do residential anymore. I used to do high-end residential. I don't. And then there's a guy that does low-end residential in some little, I send him those clients. They send me commercial clients. I don't they don't do commercial clients, so it's in that sense painting, plenty of clients to go around, plenty of work. There's no issue. This one's a little bit different. I mean, if I was selling that many, I'm super connected to the community, and I'm in a lot of different groups, and that's why I sell as many as I sell, which is only like 2 a week, which is pretty much what I can handle anyway. Because as you guys know, I have a life. This is my fun time. So I haven't gotten more. I haven't gotten a rush, nor do I expect any, because there aren't that many DIY. I mean, it's like the YouTube thing. Yep, finished the last one. It's like the YouTube thing. There was a time where I was thinking about, oh wow, YouTube can make a lot of money. And then in the end, as the businessman side of me took a look at it, and I go, not in woodworking, it can't. There's a limited audience. You'll never reach 1 million viewers, or well, maybe Jimmy DiResta did, but Jimmy DiResta is not just woodworking. He's a welder. He's maker of all types and stuff, and that's a quirk. And he's been at it for a while. And those are the exceptions. And it takes a personality, it takes tools, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The only way I would be able to do something like that is if I start gaming online and to a very popular game, and then I'm a little out of the age range to be hey, look at this old guy gaming. That just doesn't work. So anyway, what I'm getting at is, when you go into a business, if you're going to it for the sake of money, if you're going to invest your time and your money into any business, make sure there is a client base for it, or build your own client base. But basically, it's like, yeah, I'm not going to. I was considering making a metal enclosure a little high end, something that can handle NEMA 34s for a while. But then I looked at the price that it would cost me, and what I would charge for my time, and I would have to sell it for $1,500 to $2,000, $1,500 to $2,000. Number one, there's no market for it. There is, because Avid is clearly selling them. But Avid is already selling them, so that cuts my market. What little cuts it by a third. So yeah, it is what it is. But no, nothing bad. Let's see here. And you're absolutely right. That's the key thing. And I've said that before on the show. I've said it in my business programs. And I am well aware of this from the three businesses that I currently own, three successful businesses. I own five. Two are just worthless. They're just there. But exactly what you said, it's not the box, it's the builder. And the first time I started a sign business back in 2003, 2002, I started my sign business, Speedy Signs and Engraving. And it was signs and it was engraving because ADA compliant signs are engraved. And since I had an engraver, I might as well do awards. So I was doing Speedy Signs and awards, Speedy Signs and Engraving. But I did awards. Well, boy, did I learn real fast. You got to put the time in. You got to hustle like crazy, and you got to go out there, and you got to go out there, and you got to go out there. It's sales. It's all about sales, and it takes 2 to 3 years for. I mean, they say that on purpose. Any business, internet or not, takes 2 to 3 years to build a reputation and a client base. One of the advantages I had in the sign making business is that I already had a client base because I was in the carnivals business. I was at Santa's Enchanted Forest, and I had 3 spots at Santa's. I knew all the vendors well. When I told them all I was making signs, they all came to me. First I asked them, you do your research first. You find if there's a market for you. And he goes, oh, well, there is. So there it is. It's not a matter of selling a better product or selling at a cheaper price or anything like that. That has nothing to do with it. It's about the sales. It's about doing the legwork, because you could build a better mousetrap, and that's a bunch of BS that people beat a better path to your door. Kent, you had an issue. Speaking of customer service here, let's see. Okay, so your issue was, and good evening from. Let me see. Well, let me do a little catch up here, because I know there's some people I might have missed. Good evening, Dave Krause. Good evening, Bobby. I saw Paul and Jason. I thought I saw Kevin from Philadelphia here a second ago. Nope. Where'd he go? Huh. Must have been a different. Okay. Well, let's see. Kent from Northeast. From Philly. No, there he is. This thing is just all quirky. Yes, I did see Kevin from Philadelphia. And good evening, Kent from Northeast Kentucky. It's funny. Speaking of Kentucky, there's a steel building company. I was talking earlier in the show about getting a steel building, or I don't know if I was or not. My mind is already going. And I'm looking for a steel structure, for a steel building kit for the place. And I saw a real nice company in Kentucky that delivers, and they're code compliant with Florida and the works. So that's going to be nice. Okay, Kent, do you have a script on your and please excuse the delay, because there's like a minute delay between me saying something and me receiving your response on the thing. So I'll get to you but do you have a script already in place? Because there's an auto zero script, because that's something that I have not gotten around to making yet for you guys, because most people make it yourselves. But I'll make sure to have that for you soon as I can catch up. And the auto zero script, in the auto zero script, you can always ask in one of the CNC groups if they have one around. I'll be happy to email you one if you like. An Auto Tool Zero script has the settings. you'll have to get through a text program and set the settings inside, namely the offset and the backup. In other words, the tool will go down, and then there's two settings that are important. Number one is the thickness of the probe, and I have yet to measure my probes with a caliper, but you're best to do it yourself because everyone is infinitesimally different. So measure the height of your probe, and that would be the where the touch plate will autocorrect for that for the table. And the second thing is how far to back off it and whether to back off it or not. And that's in the script. So let's see. So Pagan Wizard, thank you, Pagan Wizard. Hit that like button. All right, so yeah, okay. So in Mach 3, and if any of you guys out there have a script by any chance, let me know. And if you have one that's working, I have to get together because I've yet to put one in my machine either. Well, in my Javi box machine, I have one in the other machine. Oh, excuse me. Wow, that cut me awful quick. The Y is where it stops. Okay. Oh, you've got the Z homing. The Y is where it stops. Okay. Let's see. I'm sorry, I don't have Mach 3 on this. This is my Mac, and I'm not at home, which I won't be there until Friday or Saturday. I'm sure someone else can help you by then. But there is I wish Dave was here. Dave knows this instinctively. Dave Gatton. There is a setting. If any of you guys know in Mach 3, let me see if actually I might be able to pull up my other. Yes, I can. Hang on a second. I've got Mach 3 on this computer. Let me see if I can look it up real quick and see if I can. There is a setting to tell you how far to back off on the from your homing switches, but I don't know where it is at the moment. Sweet. You built a Gatton. Well, that is the machine I recommend. I mean, I have customers lately. I've been on a couple other websites recently. Due to recent events, I figure, well, let me just popularize myself anymore. So I've been on social media and I've been on a couple of websites that I'm already known in. And so I turned around and all of a sudden I got 3 orders. So it's not just for the Gattons that I build my box, but that's the whole reason, the main reason. So let me, and that's the one I recommend. By the way, I do not, I don't diss any other machine, but that's the machine I do recommend. Okay, so under settings, rapid toggle, auto limit override limits. Might be under config. Okay, here you go. Again, just a guess, but go to this is just me thinking instinctually. Go to your config menu, okay? So under config, go to home limits. All right? Under config, go to home limits. And on your Y, you will notice it says home off. In other words, I'm assuming, again, I could be completely off by this, but I'm assuming that it means how much to go off the home after it hits home. It might be a positive number. It might be a negative number. If you try one and it doesn't work, it might be the other one. So, um, slow zone it's one is the default. So again, if anybody out there is familiar with Mach 3 and can confirm or deny what I'm saying is true, let me know. I've been spending so much time on the boxes that I haven't had enough time to tweak all the little minutia. Because again, most of that is up to you guys. But like I said earlier, the more I build them, the more I feel responsible to help you guys soup to nuts all the way through. Because I want my goal, my ultimate goal, and if this was a company and I had a motto, it would be something to the effect of to help the community get to cutting stuff and having fun. That's the really rough version. So maybe I might do that. I was into branding for 12 years. So if there's one thing I could definitely do is brand or rebrand. So that's not an issue. Anybody can anybody can buy a business card and make themselves look professional, which is the thing that I've found out over the years, and it's sad, but on the flip side, you don't want to force everybody to go through years of schooling just to have a degree to look professional. And by the way, I went through years of schooling, but not to look professional. Anyway, okay, so let me see. Okay. So you've seen that they're at half an inch now. Okay, see if you set it at negative zero point 0.5 if it does anything. And meanwhile, I'll keep looking for more stuff. As I unplug my thing here. You've got zeros of the offsets, but somewhere you see pullback. You saw the pullback, which, okay, where I see it in Mach 3 is config, homing limits, and then look for the column that says home off. Yeah, the offsets should be 0. Pretty sure. Let me see what else we got. And I'm talking about the top. Yeah, let's see. My Shapeoko machine pulls back 5 millimeter when zeroed. Yeah, but Mike, do you use Mach 3? And if so, where is that 5 millimeter denoted? MPG, that's not it. Encoder position, that's not it. Okay, it's not under settings. Offsets, let me see offsets here. Working offset, tool Z offset, reference all home. It's not the offsets. It's not the offsets. It's gotta be the config and the let me see if hang on a second, let me see if Dave's around. Unless he's I don't want to disturb him if he's on the chair in the watching the show or in the recliner, but the let's see what we got here. Let me just ask him a quick question. Oh, and by the way, come to think of it, you guys can also watch Dave's show on homings and limits, because I'm pretty sure he probably's got all the answers in there. So I mean, I know a lot of us want, I for one am the same way. Nobody watches anybody's past stuff. None of you have ever seen my old business videos from the years when I was in business and gave business advice. But then again, most of you are not looking to start a new business. And secondly, it's not instant. It's not now. So people don't go back, and neither do I, for older videos. But do yourself a favor. That one might be there. Hang on a second. Backing off a homing switch. Is it config? Homing. I've got too many mouses. Let me see here. Homing limits. Is it config? Homing limits. Home off. Or where would I set that on my show now with the question? He's probably, he hasn't been on, so he's probably indisposed at the moment. Okay, so let me see. No, under slave access, A should. Let's put it this way, Kent. A does not matter if it's selected or not. It will not make any difference. The limit switches are hardwired. The slaves are hardwired. A and Y will always function together, regardless, because the USB controllers, the 5100, the 4100, I forgot what the other one was called. The one from Bit Sensor. All the different USB controllers. If it's parallel, it's a different case. But the USB controllers do not recognize Mach 3's slaving. They're not software slavable, is what I'm saying. The man, the myth, the legend is here. Mr. Dave.
What?
Sorry, I love the shirt.
Take that, 2020.
I just saw the top of it. I was like, whoa, that's nice. Did you? I take it you got my question. I've got one of my customers, the gentleman by the name of Kent Bentley, is one of our customers. His homing switch goes to Y, but it does not back off Y.
Yeah, I saw his. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on here.
Oh, he says he thinks he may have gotten it.
Where did I put that? I saw his post on Facebook.
Oh, okay. Wait. He doesn't think he has this slave set, but he turned it off and it seems to work. Okay. So that's okay. So you turned off the slave and now it works. Is that the issue? That's weird. That's a first for me. So I'm glad you told me. Now I definitely know, because the way I have it set, let me make sure I have it set that way. The way I have it set on the one that I provide, the slave is off, because It is not software. USB controllers are not software slavable. So both the A and the Y are connected to the Y on the board. But I guess for some reason or another, if you click the slave switch, it doesn't back off the Y. That's really weird. But I got to try these things at home. Okay, got all green lights on the M3.
Okay, so he got it by turning the slave off.
Yeah, yeah. Yep.
Okay. Well, I was trying to pull it up to screen share, and I probably can if you give me a minute. But
oh yeah, absolutely.
I think I can probably tell Kent if you go to what is it? Operator. No, I'm sorry. Go to config and then go to configure plugins.
Ah, there it is. Oh, thank you. Yeah.
And then go to the configure RNL, and then you'll see where it says come off a half inch.
Yeah, it'll have and you have to select the pull off, I believe. Yeah. It's selected in the stock config that I send out, but maybe something changed, or maybe it was that slave issue.
Yeah, because normally, like with my other setup, Mach 3, you don't have a way to set how much to pull off. It just knows to click the switch and then move back until it unclicks it.
Right.
And that's where it stops, wherever that is. There's no.
Yeah. So
echo because I got the TV on in there. So let me turn this off.
Okay. Yeah, Kent. Yeah, that's exactly where you saw it. It says pull off, and they're all set to half an inch. Correct. Well, let me check on while I'm here. Let me check on how much bandwidth I have left, because I may be dropping out any moment now. Let me see here. This is the tail end of my phone.
Okay, so just so I'm clear on what he did, he had the slave set in Mach 3.
Yes.
And he just turned it off.
Yes, I'm going to try that. I don't know if that was a coincidence or if that actually.
Well, it's funny that he brings that up, and when I saw his comment in Facebook, because today I was playing around with limit switches and homing switches on that board that I'm doing,
Yes. Yeah.
And I was getting the same thing. And I must have the slave set, the Z would, and of course I'm doing it by just clicking switches with my hands because I'm not on a machine. And I thought, well, maybe maybe I'm not timing it right or something, but I could get the Z to go up, come back, and it would zero. Then the Y would move, but then when you click the switch, or at least, I'm doing it by hand, it would stop, and then nothing else would go.
That's it. Yeah, select none. And thank you, Kent. I appreciate that one. That one, that's definitely so. These USBs. It's a shame we don't have a wider variety of them, because they all use the same basic chip. I've reprogrammed the motion controller section of the ones I sell, but they all have the same basic chipset, so they all function the same way. And sometimes they're really quirky. I personally, and Dave has told me the same, I do not like the fact that you cannot hit two arrows and jog in a diagonal motion. It's very upsetting to me, but
that's a big pet peeve of mine. But for somebody new, and I've told you this before, for somebody new that hadn't done that,
Yeah, they don't
not
know
a big deal because they don't know that with other stuff you could do that.
Yeah.
But I've been moving 2 and 3 axis with my fingers at the same time jogging for 15 years, and now to all of a sudden not be able to do it. It's just weird.
It's frustrating. Let's see here, and we discussed this a couple weeks back, Dave. I guess something else. Pagan Wizard says, Dave, didn't you used to sell a CNC with an all metal frame? Yeah, he did.
Yes, I did, but
quite a while back.
They were not a big seller, and I've just decided to discontinue them. I've still got 2 or 3 enough to do 2 or 3 enough parts to do 2 or 3 of the big ones, which is basically all I got left. And I may at some point, I don't know whether I'll build them up complete and sell them that way or put them, but the Gatton is just so much more popular. It's and with those things, that's not something I just knock out in my garage, punching out metal parts. I have to have those done.
Yeah.
And to get a whole bunch of them done, spend thousands of dollars, and then have them set on the shelf, and they sell so much slower than the Gattons. It's just,
and I was telling the folks earlier, I'm pretty soon now I'm working on a metal box due to recent events, and it was about that time. I never did it in the beginning because I didn't know how many of these things would sell. And like you said, you have to invest in 20, 30, 50
talk you into a metal box to start with.
I know.
Some kind of a already done box where you're not spending your time making a box.
Yeah, well, that's what's going to happen.
But,
eventually. Yeah. Let's see. That makes sense. Thank you, Pagan Wizard. And if anyone is online, the Gatton is a fun build, and Hobby Box works great. Well, we appreciate you, the comments, Kent.
Yeah, and I don't think he's watching your thing tonight. At least I don't see him over there. I don't know, maybe. But Paul P., you know who Paul P. is. I can't even pronounce his last name. No, wait a minute. Is he? No,
Paul Stewart is here.
No, that's a different Paul.
Oh, okay.
Paul P. is what he goes by on YouTube. But he just posted pictures. He's got his build finished and made some chips today. So big shout out and congrats to Paul P. And he's running the Raspberry Pi deal.
Nice. Yeah.
So
that's a fun little toy. Eventually, pretty soon, I'll also give. I'll work my way to. I got to restock this fridge with Diet Coke. That's just sad. I got to walk all the way across. Eventually I'll be doing all types of videos as far as, how to connect the Hobby Box and not just have it in the frequently asked questions and other such things. And when I put the kit together, and first comes the box, then eventually I'll do a Heath kit type kit. And when I do something like that, you will be seeing step by step where to connect everything, how to connect everything, and I mean, it will be placed so simple that anybody with basic mechanical or slightly electronic skills will be able to slap it together, hopefully, functionally.
Here's something. It's weird. I just got this email, and it says 5-axis Mach 3 step room. It's one of those suggested things from Amazon that I get all the time. And I was looking at it, and there's a thing called a SainSmart 3-axis Gerbil USB driver control board. Have you ever seen that?
Yep. I have. I've seen it.
$25.
Oh yeah. But it's good for NEMA 17s as far as driving. It will not power.
Got enough.
Oh God, no! It doesn't have enough juice for ours. You need separate controllers.
It says in the description that it supports. Oh, well.
NEMA 20. What does it say? NEMA 23, 170 ounce.
It says NEMA 23 current less than 1.5
There you go.
Okay, yeah,
There you go.
Pinky.
Yep. Jason, I don't know. I have not checked. At the moment, I am not aware of any other controller software. But the R&R motion controller is meant for Mach 3. All I can say is try it. I mean, there's a lot of controllers that are Mach 3 compatible and use the same type of drivers, but I can't tell you one way or another. You would have to basically find the driver for it. And
I don't know of any other one that works with.
Yeah, neither do I. Neither do I. Because on the discs, let me see, where do I have them stacked? I got a stack of CDs, and I got to be honest with you. The reason I don't send you guys when I purchase all the parts, the reason I don't send the CDs is because the CDs have a version of Mach 3 on it. Not Mach 3. A version of Mach 3 on it that is, well, number one, it's against the law for me to send it because it's against the law for them to send it to me. But they do it anyway because they're from China. Because it's a non-licensed copy. And number two, it's an older copy, so it doesn't work anyway. But those CDs have only one driver, and that's the R&R motion controller. Unfortunately, they haven't come up with anything else, but I don't think they're even looking for something else. Yeah.
I know it won't work with a UC CNC because you have to have their own thing to have a licensed version, or the full blown version of.
Yeah, and I considered different, and eventually I'll have an Ethernet version, but it'll be considerably more expensive. And then I'm a fan of UC-CNC. I've never used it, but because Dave and others have sworn by it, it's a great little thing. But the thing that I go back to is you can only have, one user registered at one time or something like that, or.
Well, I mean, when you get the software's $60,
right?
When you buy it, it's just a demo. It only becomes a full licensed version if you use it with one of the either a UC 100, 300, or 400, and you have to, when you buy the software and that, they put the license, they put the serial number of that UC 100, 300, or 400
right
into the license file, so it'll only work with that. If you like, I have a UC 100 that works with the UC CNC software,
right?
But I can only run that software if I'm using that particular UC 100. I have two other ones, but they don't have the right serial number. So if I get them mixed up and try to run that software, it'll come up and say, "Sorry, demo version."
That could be annoying. And so Clyde says it doesn't work with Linux. We don't do Linux.
I should experiment and confirm or deny that.
Right? Yeah. I haven't.
I don't know nothing about.
I used to be. Dave, I was back in my electrical engineering days, and even well before, and that's what got me into it. I was so heavy duty into DOS, and then I got into Linux, and it was just my whole life was typing. This is well before Windows 3.1, well before the Mac. So type, DOS. It was wonderful. It was even before then, it was assembler language for the Apple II. But I digress. And then the Mac comes along, and everything's just so easy and so beautifully Mac interface. I still had my love for the core, for the DOS and the language, and because I knew it, I was very comfortable with it. But time goes by, and then Windows 95 comes up, and then Windows 98, and each version of Windows and each version of Mac gets better and better and better and easier. And it got to the point that I just dropped the manual stuff altogether. I mean, there's a lot of people that are still into the hard coding, but I don't know. I don't know. So that's why it's kind of fun going back to the soldering here because about the same time I stopped soldering was when people would not fix computers anymore. They would swap motherboards because there was a time I remember where this chip is bad on this computer and they soldered the chip because the boards were big and the chips were basic and it was only a few of them and it cost a lot of money for a motherboard but cheap for the chips. Then mass production comes along. Oh, this board is bad. It could be one capacitor on the board. This board is bad. They throw it away and get a new board. TVs, same thing. Oh, the TV went bad. Are you going to take it apart, take it to a TV repair shop? What's a TV repair shop? Hey, Dave, what's a TV repair shop?
I know.
You remember those days?
My dad used to be a TV repairman with his early days. He used to work for a company called LSA. That's the only company he ever worked at. He worked there 33 years. And they're like they're not even around anymore, but they're like a Sears or a
right.
They were like a higher end department store.
Right.
But he started out because of his electronic background as a TV repairman. And he had a truck and it had, tubes and all that stuff in it. Yep, and he would go around and make house calls and repair TVs that LSAers sold.
Yeah.
And then later on, he was a salesman in their TV, stereo. You know how they had that little department.
Yep.
That's what he did until he.
Yeah, I had when I was I must have been 9 years old. My grandfather had an accounting office, and I used to visit his accounting office every day because my mom had to work, and she would drop me off at my grandfather would pick me up from school until my mom got picked us up from his office at 5. So 2:00, whatever. It seemed like the whole day. I mean, it was great times with my grandfather at my grandfather's office. He's there busy meeting clients, and my brother and I are just running all around. There was a Dunkin' Donuts 2 strips down. There was a U-Totem. What do they call them now? A 7-Eleven, where we bought all our Bazooka Joe and all our gum and our trading cards and all that stuff. And there was a TV repair shop right next door to his place. And I would just, oh, man. I used to love hanging out with that guy. You do this and that. He'd keep me when in arm's distance because it's dangerous stuff. But it was fascinating. 8, 9-year-old little snot bugging the next door neighbor. Well, hey, how do you do this? How do you do this? How do you... I look back and I go, man, those old guys had the patience of saints to deal with me. So I bought this today on Amazon. I think this is pretty cool, Dave. Hang on, where did I put it? Here it is. I bought a lock, and I haven't programmed it yet, but it's a fingerprint lock. So you put your fingerprint and it'll I don't know what it'll do. It'll open, obviously, but I haven't programmed it to open yet. I haven't figured that out. I'm gonna do that after I get off the air, but
well, you've been going over an hour here and you still got some.
I still got a little bit. I have exactly, I'll tell you right now, because this is going to be my after this until I get my modem, it's going to be all on the phone. Let's see. So I have got exactly, and you'll know because all of a sudden I've got 0.5 gig left. I'm 29.5. I had 1.3 at the beginning. You can also run Windows 10 on a Mac using VirtualBox. Look it up on YouTube. Tons of video how to do it. Well, Pagan, I'll be honest with you. I have Parallels, and it's worth the money. It's well worth the money. I buy a subscription to Parallels. You can do it with Boot Camp, but with Boot Camp you have to boot in either one or the other. And Parallels, I open up a window in Windows on my Mac. I swap between windows. You guys have seen me on my Saturday show when I'm doing Vectric. I'm on my Mac, so my Mac is doing everything, and I just swap windows, and there it is. There's Vectric on my Windows 10 on my Parallels. It's very handy, and I have run Mach 3 on it. Do not recommend it. I do not recommend it. I haven't had an issue, but that's not to say that you won't have one. I don't trust it. Use a inexpensive computer. Stick Mach 3. If you can't afford a cheap $50 computer, then use your regular computer. But I've always recommended to people, look, your CNC is in your shop. It's getting full of dust. It's a tool. It's not an office tool. This is my computer. This is my office computer. My CNC is connected to one of the crappiest, if I can say that, on computers. And Mach 3 is the only thing running in it. And it runs perfectly fine. I either connected through an internal setup so I could drop stuff right there, which is my case, or you can just do the old thumb drive thing. But I have my regular computer for the design software, and that's, again, my recommendation. Yes, change my frame rate. That's a good idea. Let me see if I can stretch the show out. Let's see here. Broadcast quality. I can't do it once I started. Oh, well. Sorry, I'm at 720. But thanks for the suggestion, Paul. And again, Kent, thank you very much for that. I'm gonna confirm it when I get home, but I believe you. Once you do that, it won't work. So that's going to be an interesting note for people. And let's see. Other than that, we're good. And I did a lot of wire stripping, but I haven't done any soldering, so I guess I'll do that later tonight. Yeah. It's funny because looks great there on your big screen, and that's the funny part. You've seen me when I have a difficult time of it, like, and Russ criticizes me when and Dave when I'm all pixelated and everybody else looks perfect, and 9 times out of 10. All right, have a good one, Kent. Have a wonderful day, and thanks for dropping in. I do the lighter shows every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Soldering with Javi, just chatting, killing the, and Saturdays on Javi Unboxed. At 8 p.m. I'll come up with something. This week, I believe, if he shows up, it's going to be Mr. Charles Deering talking all about scroll sawing. So we're going to be a little segue from our regular thing, because I'm not home, so I don't have any projects to show you at the moment. And then pretty soon we'll do a show and tell, and we'll do other stuff as well. But we'll get back on track. But in the meantime, it is unboxed, so it's not always going to be CNC, but primarily. And I'm sure there's lots of things I can invent that we can do. Not collaborate. What's the word? Combine different talents. Because, I mean, look at the Paradise box. It's a combination of unless you do it all on the CNC, it's a combination of the table saw, and you're making a box and box joint jigs and a really nice design on top. So CNC does not always have to be a standalone product, and then most oftentimes it's an accentualizing machine. But while CNCs don't need other machines, they need us. I'll stand by that comment. So, well, folks, let me go ahead and cut it here at 9:15 for you guys. And you guys all have a wonderful evening. And I will see you guys hopefully on the Wednesday show. If I haven't received my modem by then, or haven't been able to make it up with the phone, then I'll see you on the Friday show. So good night all, and thank you for dropping in. Have a wonderful week.